What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of GH, I am super glad Jason was there when he was to talk some sense into Carly, because Carly's sitting here talking about she having nightmares about Nell returning to reclaim her kidney from Jocelyn. She claims that she's having some sleeping problems or whatever. And Carly is so sure that Nina's only burying Nell for self-serving reasons or whatever. And I so agree with Jason. Why do you care so much about Nina burying Nell? Why do you care? Like, why are you letting that bother you so much? You claim that you're moving on from Nell and her shenanigans. She's gone. She can't hurt you anymore. But you keep worrying about this chick. Like, you keep worrying about anything Nell related. You keep worrying about it. Like, what does it matter to you where Nina buries her? It's Nina's money. She can do what she want to do. If she want to bury her, she can bury her. That's her choice. Why do you care? But Carly feels like she doesn't feel like Nell is haunting her, but she feels like there's still unfinished business somehow between her and Nell. And that she's supposed to remember something, but she can't for the life of her think of what it could be. Maybe it's a guilty conscience or something. Who knows? I'm like, let it go. What are you still dreaming and harping on somebody who's supposedly dead and gone? I mean, for the better part, I didn't think Nell was really dead. But if Chase ID'd the body and the cops ID'd the body, then, I mean, they found the body. And Chase that day went to go identify it. So if he saw her, I'm pretty sure if that wasn't Nell's body, Chase would have been said something, I'm sure. So I'm assuming that Nell is really dead at this point. But then again, on daytime, who even with a body, sometimes it's like they're still never dead. So anyway, moving on from that. So Sonny comes back home or whatever. I guess Mike had a will. And apparently he left Sonny a racehorse. Interesting. I wonder what Sonny plans on doing with that racehorse. Like, is he going to sell it? Is he going to let it race? Like, what you plan on doing? That's some good money right there, though. I would love to own a real horse. I think that'd be pretty dope. But Sonny basically is ready to move on. Finally let his dad go and focus on the present, which brings their conversation back to Cyrus. And basically Sonny's saying that he's determined to take Cyrus out when the time is right. But, you know, I think in order for them to take Cyrus out, though, they have to come up with a very crafty way of doing it. So that way they could easily take him out. Well, it's probably not going to be easy, but with Brando on the inside, it makes it a little bit easier as long as they, you know, keep up the charade and be smart about it. Take him out and don't leave any evidence behind. Because you know if something happened to Cyrus, you know Sonny and Jason are number one suspects. So hopefully they could do that very clean. So anyway, moving on from that. Nicholas is basically at Windermere being vulnerable, professing his love to Ava, basically letting her know that he's falling for her. And he's tried numerous times to talk himself out of his feelings for her, but his feelings are legit and he can't shake them. He wants to know basically if Ava feels the same way about him. Ava pretty much tries to dodge that. She tries to bring up his relationship with Liz and his friendship with Liz. And he basically said, well, he's not checking for Liz. He's checking for Ava, his wife. And he wants to know how Ava feels. But Ava keeps dodging that question. And when she refuses to answer, he basically asked for an opportunity to prove his feelings to Ava because she didn't believe it. She felt like his profession of love for her was fake and it was bullshit. And she keeps flashing back to that check that she found torn up on the ground with Nicholas's name on it. So she's not buying what he's selling at this point. So Ava came out of nowhere and asked him for a divorce. I was not expecting that. Because based off of her recent conversation with Julian just this past episode, she made it clear that Nicholas was going to be her husband until she said otherwise. I didn't think she would say otherwise this fast. I didn't think so. I feel like Ava definitely has feelings for Nicholas. That's abundantly clear. I feel like she's trying to protect herself. Like she's trying to build this wall around her. Because look at all her past relationships with men. You had quite a couple that had played her and dogged her out, including her own damn brother at times. So I think she's putting up this defense and this wall so that way she never becomes vulnerable to another man again. Because look at what Ryan did, how he played her. You know? Then that whole situation with, oh boy. What's his face? You know, the doctor. Griffin Monroe. You know, so she's had some bad relationships in the past. So I think that's why she's building up this wall. And she feels she doesn't really know what to make of Nicholas. Like, he's professing all this love for her, but for all she know, he could be trying to play her again. So, I don't know. Hopefully, though, they don't get a divorce, because I actually like Nicholas and Ava together. I really do. So, anyway, moving on from that. Chase is sitting there telling Willow how happy he is for her and Michael. She wanted to tell him about the annulment, but he just basically like stopped her, and insisted that he's no longer part of her life or whatever. And when Michael pulled up, Chase pretty much tells them that Brooklyn slept with Valentine. Like, first of all, Chase, mind your business. Like, why are you telling all this girl business? Like, oh, Brooklyn slept with Valentine. Why would that be Michael and Willow's business? Brooklyn, what people fail to realize, Brooklyn is a grown-ass woman. She can have sex with a peach. Okay? She can have sex with, she could get freaky with a lemon. What does that matter to anybody? She's grown. Emphasis on grown. Like, Chase, now all of a sudden you care? I mean, I understand that they bonded over the last several weeks, but just a minute ago you were arresting her for every little incident in the book. Now all of a sudden you have this big concern for her. Like, she's a big girl. She can take care of herself. I'm pretty sure whatever this is between her and Valentine, she is well equipped to handle it. Let her be. So Chase pretty much decided to go to Nell's burial because he was talking to Michael and Willow about that too. And they pretty much said they had no intention of going, which I totally understand, because why would Michael want to go? Hell, why would Willow want to go? So Chase, I guess, decided to go, and after all, to the funeral. Meanwhile, Nina and Valentine, actually, before I even get to Nina and Valentine, Michael and Willow continue to play this game where they talk about this annulment and stuff like that, but now y'all going wine tasting or whatever the hell y'all doing. And he put his hand on her hand, he touched her hand or whatever. Like, this is making y'all annulment a little bit more difficult and complicated. Like, they might as well just admit their feelings to each other. Damn, you already got Nicholas and Ava playing these little games, and now here y'all go, playing the same game, just different. You know? Like, oh no, we're better off with somebody else, we're this, we're that. Like, just admit to each other y'all feelings and move the hell on, please. Because this is getting annoying. Because Willow is basically letting Michael know that it's definitely over between her and Chase because she can't get over his betrayal. My whole thing is, I don't know if she's completely over Chase or she's just saying that, but I do feel like her feelings for Michael have grown even stronger, though. That I'm sure of. Because you can see it in their face, like the way they look at each other, and you can tell they're not totally on board with this annulment. They're just thinking that it's the right thing to do, even though it's not. They might as well just stay together. So anyway, Nina and Valentine are still going back and forth over him sleeping with this one and her being with Jax, him sleeping with Brooklyn. Oh, you're jealous. No, I'm not. No, I'm this. You know, like little children. It's kind of funny to watch it, but it's like, damn, grow up. So Jax pretty much interrupts and they start talking about, you know, the burial for Nell, and Valentine was wondering as well, why the hell is Nina doing this? And she basically told Valentine and Jax to mind their business and stay out of it, since they're not on board with what she want to do. Valentine is definitely trying to play head games. Definitely. Because he keeps bringing up the fact that, and he even brought it up to Nina again, that Carly will always be a fixture in Jax's life. Like, he's trying to play up that angle. Talking about, oh, you're always just going to be the extra or whatever. Carly's always, going to be the preferred and whatnot. And my whole thing is, how you going to sit there and say that when you just 5 minutes ago were telling Brooklyn about your first love, who you're basically not over, which pretty much he probably talking about Anna more than likely. So the same can be said about him. And he has more secrets than anybody I freaking know. But he's just, that's how Valentine operate. He's a one-trick pony sometimes. He likes to just pull out everybody else's cards except putting his on the table. Try and play these little head games with Jax and stuff like that. Basically sitting there trying to ask Jax if he's ever going to be over Carly and stuff like, Valentine, shut your mouth and worry about your business. Pay attention to the business, just focus on the business that pays you. But, he also asked Jax about the secrets, like do Jax and Carly share secrets that Nina could never know? And of course, Jax had to, flash back to the cover up that him and Carly are basically currently doing that Nina doesn't know about. And we all know that's going to come back to bite him in the ass. And, of course, Valentine brings up that he better make sure that there's an actual child out there for Nina. So anyway, moving on from that. So Chase goes over to the graveyard and stuff. He basically, she thanked him for coming, but he claimed that he was there to acknowledge the fact that he had a role, that Nell had a role in his life. The role that she played in his life or whatever. What irritated me about Nina was she talking about something she feels like Nell could have accomplished a lot if she had somebody looking out for her. I agree with Chase. She had that. A lot of people tried, and Chase, that's exactly what I agree with Chase. A lot of people did try to look out for Nell, and she spat in everybody's face that ever tried to help her. And Nina's sitting there talking about, well, she can't accept that. Nina, you're one of the people who tried to help Nell more than once, and she spat in your face more than once. Remember the first time Nina hired Nell at Crimson, and Nell wanted a raise or whatever. Nina gave her the raise. She agreed to give her the raise. The problem was, and what pissed Nell off, was the fact that she wasn't getting that raise right when she wanted it. But that's not how companies operate. You know what I mean? Once you can't give somebody a raise in the middle of a quarter. You have to wait until the end of that quarter when you go into reviewing the new budget for the new quarter. That's how the raises work. You can't, because when you're in the middle of a quarter, the budget is already set. So you can't revise it once it's already set and you're in the middle of the quarter and money is already being dispersed. You can't do that. So she tried to blackmail Valentine and stuff like that. So Nina already did her best to try to help that girl. And look what happened. Nell used everybody who tried to help her, including Jocelyn. She manipulated and played anybody who tried to be nice to her and help her. When Brad tried to be a friend to her, Obrecht tried to help her, she always tried to pull out a blackmail card. That's what she always did. She used everybody as a means. That's all she did. So Nina's a little bit delusional and touched when it comes to that, because I'm like, I don't get you. Like, this girl used everybody she could possibly use to get what she wanted. So I feel like all these excuses Nina's coming up with to justify Nell and to say, oh, well, if this person was in her corner, if that person was in her corner, maybe she would have turned out different. No. When she first came to town, she had a lot of people rooting for her, trying to help her. Michael, everybody. She used and lied to everybody. So that excuse is, you could throw that shit out, because that's whack. She used everybody. So basically, Nina wished that things could have been different for Nell or whatever. The only way things could have been different for Nell is if Nell wanted different. Nell wanted what she wanted, and she didn't care what she had to do, manipulate whoever to get what she wanted, and look how it all ended. Look how it all ended for her. So, Carly showed up, I guess, to the burial or whatever. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that little showdown between Nina and Carly and stuff like that. Because at some point, we need to put this whole Nell shit to rest. At some point. Nina, I do believe at some point she gonna find out Nell was probably her real daughter. Because at this point, I believe Nell could possibly be her daughter. And I think Cynthia Watros recently did an interview where she basically confirmed Nell is her daughter. I want to say, I believe I did read that she confirmed that in the interview. So we could basically say Nell is her daughter. That's why they got Nina tripping like this, doing burials and coming up with excuses for the girl. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see y'all all later. Hope you all have a good day. Peace.